Hello, statistics students. In our last lesson, we learned about population and sample data and ways of describing different branches of statistics. Today, we're going to look at that data in particular, and we're going to learn to classify it. So this is going to be section 1.2 of our current textbook. So there are two types of data that we're going to consider, and let me share my screen with you. The first type, let's see here, two types. The first type is quantitative. And quantitative data are numerical measures and counts but not all numbers are quantitative data. The big question you might want to ask yourself is, does it make sense to average the numbers? For instance, if you look at a zip code, if you average two zip codes, does that mean anything? If you average two phone numbers or two social security numbers, does that mean anything? So those are examples of numbers that are not quantitative data. Obviously, the height of all the girls in your fifth period class, it makes sense to average those and you get a number that means something. So that would be quantitative data. The next type of data is qualitative data. And qualitative data is sometimes known as categorical data. We're going to use the two terms interchangeably. And qualitative data is qualities. It's attributes like hair color, labels like 9th grade, 10th grade, freshman, sophomore, junior, or categories. So those are the two types of data that we can gather. Now, on page 12 of the current textbook we're using, there are 4 different levels of categorization. And I need to share that screen with you. And here they are. Now, unfortunately, it looks like my picture is going to be blocking the upper right-hand corner. But for now, you have your textbook. This is on page 12. So what we see on page 12, the lowest level or the simplest level is the nominal level. That's putting things in categories, but there's no reason to order them. Think of NBC, ABC, CBS. I guess you could put them alphabetically, but it doesn't mean anything to say, ABC comes before CBS. That's just, we're just putting them, that's just the names of the networks. So that's the nominal level. The ordinal level is where you can put things in categories, but again, there's no, you can order them, but there's just an ordering. It's not like 10 is greater than 7. Actually, 10 is greater than 7 could be the interval or the ratio level. The next one is the interval level. And the interval level is where you can put things in a category, you can put them in order, you can find differences between things, but there's no real zero. Think of the height of a building. You know, in Europe, the first floor is what we would call the second floor. It's one floor above ground. But would you say that zero means that there's no floor? That doesn't make sense. So in the interval level, you can find distances. The fifth floor is 3 floors higher than the second floor, but the zero doesn't mean anything. And even with temperatures, I mean, if it's 0 degrees Fahrenheit, does that mean there's no temperature? No, because obviously that would be a different number in Celsius and a different number in Kelvin. So you have to think of, does 0 mean anything or not? You know, does it mean the absence of something? And then, of course, the ratio level, not only do you have to have the 0 mean something, but you can find a ratio between two numbers. 10 really is twice as high as 5. But, you know, if you're in the second floor basement, does that mean you're on floor -2? And the fifth floor would be how many times higher? It doesn't make sense to do levels of a building in the ratio level. So what I want you to get out of this lesson is to think of whether data is quantitative, whether it's numbers, or whether it's qualitative or categorical, which is categories, attributes, and labels. And as far as these 4 categories go on page 12 of our current textbook, there's no need to memorize that. I will not quiz or test you on that. I want you to know they exist, and I want you to be able to use those terms, but don't just go memorizing them for the purpose of memorizing them. That will not be of any value to us in this course. That's all I have for section 2. Have a great day.